For this vlog, I wrote a comment on the website Discuss in response to someone else's comment on an article. The article is titled "Florida Jihadi Goes on Stabbing Spree," and it's about a Florida teenager, 17-year-old Corey Johnson, who allegedly stabs 3 other people during a sleepover. He allegedly chose to stab these people because they were making fun of him for being Muslim. It's important to note that this article that's linked on Discuss, the source of the article, is actually from a website called Trump Train News. So even though the article isn't that long, a lot of the information is sensationalized. It's not actual factual information. So I chose to find the information about this case through other news sources. So a lot of the information that's in this particular article on Discuss isn't 100% true. The picture for the article is actually a picture from a different terrorist attack. It's not actually a picture of this teenager or of this event. Like I expected, most of the comments on this article are from people who are extremely far right on the political spectrum. There really wasn't anyone kind of in the middle of the spectrum who was commenting. It was just this back and forth between people who were kind of sharing sarcastic comments, maybe outlandish comments that weren't really factually correct. A lot of these comments are things that people would say to kind of mock others with different political views, or maybe things to shock people to get a rise out of them. So I originally wasn't going to choose this article to respond to, but I found this meme that someone posted in response to this article, and I just had to write a comment on it. The meme might have just been for shock value, and this is not something that someone actually believes, but I still thought that I would respond to it because it does have incorrect and biased information in it. So I chose to write a comment that is basically not disproving, but pointing out the points that were factually incorrect. So here's the meme. It says, "When your religion kills twice as much people in a week, yet the infidel still blames the guns." So this is why I almost didn't respond to the comment, because it's just so it's so out there. It doesn't even really have to do with this article, which was something that I mentioned in the comment. I said I think that this meme is responding to 2 issues at once. Because this article is about a stabbing, and yet this meme is bringing up gun control. The meme is also trying to bring up issues about terrorism, and I think those are 2 totally separate issues. This meme also says, "When your religion kills twice as much people in a week." I don't really know what they were comparing that to. I didn't choose to respond to that part because it just didn't really make much sense. So the main point of my comment was saying that it's important to note that Islam as a religion doesn't kill people. It's the people that choose to interpret that religion in an extreme way and use that religion as an excuse to commit terrorist attacks. Those people are the problem, but just regular Muslim people are not terrorists. Which is true, not all Muslim people are terrorists. That doesn't really make much sense. So the comment that I got in return, I only got 1 comment. I did get 1 upvote, but I only got 1 comment from someone who disagreed with me. He says that in his comment that people who say that Islam is a peaceful religion and tries to teach peace, these people are actors. I don't really know. And he says that it's not religious extremists who are terrorists, but it's moderate Muslims. I've never really heard that term be used before, but it definitely made me want to respond, to maybe ask some questions about what he meant by this. It was really hard to not respond to this comment. I knew that I would get at least 1 comment like this. I wasn't as angry as I think if there were tons of people commenting back at me, but I definitely did have the urge to comment back to this person. Yes, I do think that commenting is a part of civic engagement because you are engaging with the material that you're reading or watching if it's a video and responding to it, maybe posing questions or stating your own beliefs. So it is kind of a minor way of being engaged in political issues. In theory, the comment section should increase civic awareness because people can express their own points of view. However, people often abuse the comment section and make a point to say outlandish things, maybe things to purposely get a rise out of people. And I think this is a terrible example of civic awareness because it's not using the comment section to the way that it was probably intended. I don't really know if the comment section is necessarily a good or bad example of civic awareness because on one hand it can give away false information and sensationalized information, but on the other hand it can be a good way to discuss with people your different points of view. I think the comment section would be a lot more useful if people used it in a constructive way instead of just attacking people for having different points of view. I think it could be a good way to connect with people who you might not necessarily connect with otherwise and to see their different points of view and maybe come to some sort of agreement. But unfortunately, that almost rarely happens on the internet. People are so quick to just get in fights and attack one another that it's hard to actually listen to the other person's viewpoint. I think commenting can only be a part of civic agency if you're willing to work with other people collaboratively. If you're just saying things to be a troll or to get a rise out of people, I don't think that's going to do any good. So that's pretty much it. I do really wish that I could have responded to this comment. It really irks me when people write things that are just blatantly false, but I guess I'll never know what I had to say. But thank you for watching.